Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Yeah, Mondays are okay when you're retired. Oh, sorry. I just had to say that. I've got them in bags, but I'll set them up here for a minute. How is everyone? Hi, Paper. Hi, River. Welcome, welcome. You guys, I'm so excited. I have spent 2 weeks scanning, removing backgrounds, uh, what's the word? Refining the details because a remove background program does not remove everything at once. It gets a majority most of the time. So then you have to fine tune it. That's the word I was looking for. But I bought 22 French, they're from France, Le Mode black and white magazines. And I, like I said, spent 2 weeks scanning. Here's one. I'll show you. Spent 2 weeks scanning these suckers. They're 22 magazines. And I didn't just pull out the doll, or, the ladies. I pulled out everything that I thought was an awesome image for our junk journals. I think I showed the ladies last week, but I've got two sets from 1875. And what is so awesome, see the difference? This is 1875. Look how much fabric and how, bigger and bulkier the gowns were. And then you get into 1891 and they're a lot smaller. So here's the two for 1875. And then there's four. Think about that. That surprised me that I could pull out twice as many in the 1891 issues that I did in the 1875 issues. It just surprised me. But I did all of this scanning, and for whatever reason, it was a silly decision. I did all 22 at once, and I won't do that again because that is a lot of scans to clean up and get ready. But it's done now, and I'm so excited. Saturday, I had a show, and I was showing off these ladies that are their heads. And as you can see by what you're looking at, we're going to do the mini junk journal tutorial also, or mini French book tutorial. But I went in and scanned all of these ladies' head. I call them head close ups. And I had a hard time deciding if I should sell them in smaller packs or larger packs. There's one with a cape. Isn't that pretty? I mean, they're just so gorgeous, aren't they? I still can't imagine having to look like this every day, you know? All right, so let's start with unless you guys want to see these first, we can start with the tutorial. I love any suggestions or ideas of what to do. We can let me get let me get organized in my head here. I'm thinking too many things at once, evidently. Okay, so I do want to show you these accessories. Sorry, I went in. I'm gonna zoom back in for these. Look at this, and you when you get them, you'll probably find little pieces still stuck in there. Just poke them out like you would do, a regular die cut. Look at that purse with that butterfly on it. I decided to do all of the accessories in one bundle because they're just too good. They'd be really hard to pick, and decide. Here's a pillow with the embroidery on it. Got a couple hats. I just think these Journal Junkie was on the show Saturday, and she's the one that said it. I don't know why I didn't think it. Wouldn't these be awesome for tucking in pockets? Little tucks in our junk journals. Look at this lamp. Saturday I brought them out, and I wasn't ready to sell them because I wasn't positive on the size that I wanted, and so I just wanted some feedback. Look at this. I just wanted some feedback on size. So most of these, I think, are 2.5. Let me look. Look at this. It's got a piece that hasn't come out. There we go. Look at that. Is that a trash can? I meant to look at, there's another one coming up, and I meant to, it looks like they're around 3. I just was enamored with all of these little bits. Yeah, this one is the one I'm not sure what you call that. Then I've got some more umbrellas or parasols. I saw in the magazine when I was looking this weekend, they were called parasols at that time. I'm not sure what that is, but I thought it was something fun to add. Here we've got a fan. Look at this. I'm assuming that's a fan too, with the handle on it. Just so many awesome images of what they used back in, I can't remember if these came from 1875 magazines or 1891. It's probably a combo. But our thought was when we were talking Saturday is you could use a lady head and put, the parasol over her. She's my favorite out of this grouping. You could do something like that, it'd be fun. Or put that in front so you got a little scene. Everything I have. Oh, thank you, Kim. Most everything is in the buy now. Kim, were you on with Marble King? I was watching him a little, listening to him a little bit. Look at this beautiful pillow. He was buying the last of the goods from Brenfield that he, was going to get today. Look at this purse. Oh, you did? What do you do with those? They're absolutely gorgeous. This has a couple little spots that need to get poked out. Here's another bag with a tassel. I'm thinking this is another ash or trash can. Aren't these so cute? They'd be pretty to just add for tucks and yeah, because didn't most of them have um they had the gold around the edges and a thing to hang, right? Did all of them? Look at this. Okay. And a table. Isn't that pretty? I made the table a little bit bigger after Saturday's show and the letter thing a little bit smaller so it looked more like it could sit there. But yeah, were you in the show when he found them? No, okay. I wasn't either. So there's 27 pieces in that pack of all of those goodies that we can add to our journals. I guess I'll show you these and then we can get started on the tutorial. This set was 250, the number 250. I gotta leave them in the bag or I have to look to see which one goes where. I got so many pieces now. Okay, so that first set of ladies was 250, number 250. This set of ladies is number 251. Look at that. And a lot of these, they, when I did the remove background, it left them kind of jagged like that. And I kind of liked that. So I just went with that. If they were more of a, you know, squared off image, I mean, that's what I did. And I left her, I think that's a bow on her dress. And what you'll find with these and the dresses, well, any of the pieces, you'll notice the color variation, even though they're black and white. My throat, sorry. Even, uh, you'll notice color variation, just like, the pillow and the frame are a little browner, and then others are, and then this one's light. The lamp is really light, and I like her a lot too. Okay, so this set's number 251. They're all in my buy now. I do have oh, I did want to tell you guys this. If you want more than one, if you want to let me know, I'll do a listing and you can get a better shipping price. So, as I list them individually, I do 1 to 3 ounces. But if you got, say, the accessories and all four of these, the shipping would probably, I would just put in probably 1 to 3. And so you'd only have to pay that once. I was thinking about that last night because the problem when I list them individually, I um I have to put in a weight. And if a person buys just one, then I have to do the 1 to 3 ounces for a single item, right? To have enough weight to ship with the packaging. But in groups, you can pay a lot less for shipping. Well, that's still up close, isn't it? I just noticed. Okay, here's the third lady, or third pack. I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say. And I have coupons. I always forget to tell you guys, but I have coupons. And if you've been here before, be sure to use your coupons. Look at this one. She had greenery across her, and look at that butterfly. I kept him. And look at that. That has to be a velvet choker thing around her neck. Left the butterfly on her shoulder. The hats and their hair are as beautiful as their clothing. There's another probably velvet choker. I think that's what you call them. And then there's her. Look at that elegant hat on her head. And that huge bow around her neck. Kim, you just bought the pack or the grouping of 5. I didn't know if because I could have made just 2 packs of the ladies, but I didn't know how many ladies someone would want, at one time. So I decided to go with the smaller packs. But if any of you would like to see a little bit larger packs so that, we can help with, so that shipping will be better, we can do that too. Welcome in, everybody. I have scanned 22 Lamode French magazine, Lamode French magazines. I don't know when my voice is ever going to get back to normal. Since the sinus infection I had been fighting for 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't know why it won't. There, I took a drink of water. That helped. Welcome, welcome. I bought 22 French La Mode magazines from 1875 and 1891 from France and spent 2 weeks scanning, removing backgrounds, fine tuning, because the background program will never remove it, 100%. So you have to go in and fine tune everything. But I got these accessories, 4 packs of, I'll call them ladies close up, because most of my ladies are 6 inches tall. If you guys want to see the black and the white closer, I can sure do that, but this gives you an idea. The first one and the second one are from 1891, along with this one and this one. And then these two with the bigger dresses are 1875, guys. It's crazy the difference. 75, 85, well, 16 years later, and how much smaller their dresses were at that time. Okay, I just wanted to give you an idea on that. And then, and we can look at them further whenever you guys, if you guys want to. I'm going to zoom back out. There we go. Okay, so I had some gals last Monday buy my kit for mini French books. And these stream my Whatnot shows, stream on Whatnot. My YouTube is the same as it is here, Pam Gree 16550. And so I told them, because they bought some, I said, well, I need to do a tutorial on how to make these. And I told them, even if they aren't able to come this morning, they can still look at my YouTube and, see the tutorial. Excuse me. I'm just getting rolling with YouTube. So I don't have a very high, what do you call it? Followers or whatever you call them. But I'm getting there, and eventually I'd like to do, some things on YouTube. But the important part for now is that if you get a kit and want to watch the tutorial again, you can go to my YouTube. I like that. I guess at one time, Whatnot let the shows be saved, and then they went away. And I just started around that time. I probably didn't know what it was yet, but I've been on for, let's see, March 31st was my 1 year. So this kit has, I'll show it to you and then we'll make them. This kit has the covers of all of these. Most of them are French. I don't think that one is, and this one isn't. That was Currier and Ives book that I had. And then I can't remember if that one's French or not. And I realized there's two of this one in there. Okay, so these are all French books that I owned or still own. And I scanned the covers. Some of you may know that because I sell the 8.5 by 11 of the cover that can be used for a journal cover. But then I had taken them and shrunk them down even smaller. And finally, it took a while. Oh, this isn't a good one. Dang it. Where's the pack that I want to show you? Oh, I want to show you what's on the back of them. I had printed those before I finally figured out how to do the back because I wanted my little books, when you open them, to have the marble. Look at that. And so this is what they look like. Okay, so you got the front of the books, and then on the back you've got the brown marble. And it was a booger to line these for me to line these up with each book, but I finally figured out I could do them in 3 sections to cover all 3 sets like that. So your marble, you know, may not look like, here's one that came out well. But at least if you open the little books after they're made, you have the marble inside. And then in the pack, these were the different things I played around with while I was making them. So I just decided to include these. So if you wanted a different background or inside cover, you got that, or you can use these for whatever else you'd like. So you get those 3 in the kit. This is a pack of 10 um, folio French book pages. Am I saying that? And this is what you use to make the pages. And this is really good stuff. This is rag paper. Rag paper is so strong and substantial. It's a much thick. I mean, it would tear, but it's not going to fall apart like today's, papers. So it's really nice and thick. And they're in folios, which is 2 pages still attached. When I took them out of the book, when I take any book apart that are in really bad shape, the covers and stuff, I always try to take them out as folios. And it's amazing, even if a book looks rough, on the spine, cover, and back, the pages are still in really nice condition. I'm going to keep one of these out. And then I even cut up a piece of chipboard. And this is your helper for folding the pages. Oop, I put one up. There's another one. Okay, so the first thing you do is cut them all out of the 8.5 by 11, and you get all these cute little books covers. They are 1.25 inches high. I think they're all 1.25 inches high. Yes. Yep. And so the width will vary just depending on, the size that the actual book cover was. But the height is all 1.25 inches. So you cut these out and then you score. Zoom in for a second. You score right where on each side of the spine, there and there. You score, and then look what you've got, your little baby book, mini book. Then, and did you guys know with scoring, when you press, wherever you press in, then the fold goes to that where it's down? Because when you score, you have, well, I guess you call it like a valley. And so you want to score on this side so that your valley is here And that's where you um, make your score line so that you've got really good there. Then let's look at the spine on some of these to know the front. Then it's a pretty red one. You'll recognize these images if you bought the 8.5 by 11 size, because they are the same books. Here's the dark green one. And then this one. This one I've got clamped in because once you start folding the pages, they just kind of go everywhere. So I clamp them so they're not like a spring. Let's see, I'm going to turn my hot glue gun on. Let's see, get this situated. Okay, so you have 10 folios of this beautiful rag paper that is still a folio. And what you're going to do first, after you're going to cut out the book covers, you're going to score the spines, and then you're going to take this rag paper. See how they're not even, I mean, the books back then, they like this is even up here, but not down here at the bottom. There we go. And so you're going to get out your cutter and you're going to cut these strips at 1 1/4. Just making sure, yeah. So just line it up and just 1 1/4 all the way down. I cut these up a while ago, so I can't remember. I think you have one left that's not, 1 1/4, but you get quite a few. And what I really liked about keeping it a folio is we've got this long piece to fold up for the, excuse me, for the pages in the folio or in the book, instead of having to, keep doing the smaller lengths. So this is where this thing comes in. I'll zoom back in again. There we go. Okay, so we'll do it this way. You line this up with the bottom, and then, okay, so you see there's this front edge and then there's a back edge. You're going to fold in just on that front edge so that you get a crease. Then you're going to flip it around. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. I didn't practice this morning. Let's see, you've got this one. You want to do just the front edge. Okay, I did one more crease. So each time you're going to line it up here at the bottom, fold just the first one, and then bring it back. That's what it is. Okay. Turn it around, line it up at the bottom, crease just the front edge of the chipboard, fold it down, and flip it over. Put it on here. Make sure the bottom edge is correct. Fold it. Flip it over. This one happens to land really close to the middle. And do that. See how it's so easy to there. How is it so easy to get off when you make the line and then use your finger just to crease the first one, fold it down, flip it over. Now, I'm not taking the credit for this because I saw Tim Holtz and the Simon Says stamp lady doing last October. Because he has packs with little mini book covers in it, and it was Halloween, and he did a demonstration on how to make them a little book. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, I could do that with French books. And I actually have the link listed in the pack, of the French covers. Okay, so there we have our first one, all folded up. And Tim Holt said he didn't care if the writing, good morning, never miss finds. Welcome, welcome. So I'll show you one more. Oh, that's the, well, I must have laid the ones that aren't still connected. What the heck? Okay, let me find my bag with the others. Well, I don't know what's going on here. That's weird. They used old book pages also, but they didn't use rag paper. And what's nice about the rag paper, because it's thicker, you don't need as to fold as many of these to, fit in these cute little book covers. So you line it up at the bottom, and the chipboard comes in your kit. You line it up at the bottom, and you fold just the first one. See how there's the first one, and then there's this one back here. And you want to just fold the first one, fold it down, flip it over. I'll make sure it's straight. Line it up at the bottom, crease the first line, pinch it together, flip it over. I did a bunch of these just while I was watching a TV show. At first I thought, oh my God, this is going to take forever, but it didn't. Bring it back, flip it over. I just love, if any of you know me, you know I love rag paper. And this is some of the best rag paper out there. It's, I believe it's more of a cotton linen, so that's why the pages are a little bit whiter, Whiter. than some of the rag paper you'll see. We're at the middle. Flip it over. Keep my finger there just so that I keep it so that I can line it up at the bottom. Flip it over. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am demonstrating making tiny mini French books. When I get rolling into making some junk journals, I just thought these would be so cute to add to our junk journals. So yeah, I saw Tim Holtz doing this with the Simon Says Stamp Lady. And it's, if you want to watch it, I have the link in the kit. But if you want to look for it, it's not on Tim Holtz YouTube, it's on Simon Says Stamps. And it was in October. And the two of them together are showing how to make these mini books like I'm showing you now. But I am no expert like Tim Holtz. So there we go. Now we've got some book pages. And don't worry about the folds being out here, because a book would open page by page. Okay, so there's our little pack pages. So what you do is you decide, here's the other one I made. You put them together, and then you pick a book cover, and you put it in here, and you decide if it's thick enough. And see how I can kind of squish it in? So I think we're going to try a third one, and I have some over here that I have folded up. Where'd the book cover go? I was using this one, I think. And so, now see, that's better. So then, they should be the right height. One looks like it's hanging over. Because the books are 1 1/4. Now see how this is a much smaller spine? So I'd probably take one away for this one. Make sure it's pushed in there well. Yeah. See how that keeps it lined up better? So then, this is where I had a little more trouble when I first made them. Well, I've only made a few. But you take, let me see if my glue gun even came on. Oh, it didn't. Well, that's not good. Well, we could take regular glue, but it would just take, longer to dry. Have you guys ever, your tips on your glue get so gunked up, they won't even work right? What you do, so I don't have a fine tip, so I got to be careful. Come on, glue. So just add a little bit. This is art glitter glue. Can you tell I use it a lot? Now I gotta find the skinny book I had. This one, I think, wasn't it? And we're gonna push that all in there really good. Up against the spine is what I found worked best. Push it down into the spine. See, that one's a little long too. Well, we'll just have more trimming to do. Hmm. Just trying to make sure the spine is up tight. KMF, hi. Welcome, everyone. I got you close up because these books are so tiny. So then what I've done is taken a clip, even with the hot glue, but especially with glue, I'm going to do this to kind of hold it until it dries. Okay, so here's one I have put together. Looky there. And now what you do is trim off this edge. I'm not a very good straight cutter, so I think I'm going to find it easiest to get a ruler and run use an X-Acto, but let's try it with scissors just to see. I'll get out my, whoop. I love the 4th of July, so I had that sitting up on my light. Look at this box. These were my grandma's. I didn't even know when she gave these to me. I didn't even know this name, and I see it now, and it's like a big deal name for scissors. So I only use these for special things. I shouldn't be. Never mind. I'm not going to use those because this is paper. That was silly of me. I think I'm going to. I tried to do all of them on the first ones I tried. I think I'm going to do a few pages and see if that will. There we go. Come on, scissors. Hi. Hi, Marcy. Thank you for being here. I sold some of these mini French book kits last week, and I told the ladies it was the coolest thing. I don't know if Kim's in here. Not Kim Starrett, the other Kim. I thought it was so cool because I didn't know what to show next. And she said, "Show us what your favorite thing is." And I pulled these out. And they liked them too. Oh, good. And so I said, I will do, because I'm starting to do tutorials. So I said, let me do that next Monday. And then when you get your kits. You can find me on YouTube. It's my same name as here on Whatnot. And even if you can't be here, you'll be able to go back and watch the tutorial. I'm doing okay with the scissors, aren't I? I played around with it too much. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I think I played around with them too much last time, and they were all wonky. But I really like how they came out with the pair of scissors, so maybe that's better for me. Sorry, I keep drinking water. So here is your little baby French book, and look, the pages are all okay because we trimmed the zigzag off on the edge. I just think these are adorable to put in our junk journals. And there's got to be a way where we could even, make put a little hole, because that's kind of thick that would be too thick for a punch, right? But maybe if we did it, you know, with fewer pages and somehow make it a dangle, I'm sure we could come up with a way, or adhere something around it and make it a dangle. And as you can tell, I didn't pay attention to whether or not the pages were upright or not. that's that's one of the things Tim Holt said. I don't care if they're upside down or not. I probably glue it oh, yes. Yes. If that's the front, then look, I've got them in the right direction. And that's kind of how my brain works. I'd probably want them to go in the right direction. Yeah. This one's cute, isn't it? I'm real happy with how the scissors worked on that one. So we got that one. Here's one that I had put together. Oh, I know. Autocorrect is, I swear to God, I hit the right letters when I email. And I think it just takes a mind of its own on and changes it to whatever it wants. Oh, I think I did too many. Because I'll know that's, oh, thank you. Glue them to narrow ribbons for a dangle. Yes, good idea. So these are only 1.25 inches high. Because they had to fold, a number of, Tim and the lady from Simon Says Stamp, they had to fold a number of pages, to fit one of their little books. Yeah, I know, Marcy. And with this rag paper, I was just thrilled that we don't, because it's thicker, we don't have to make as many. Yeah, I think the first time I tried with an X-Acto, man, I just had it crooked as heck. But I like how this is going. Well, maybe if I can get, it's hard to do it through the camera. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. Desert lily. Yes, that's perfect. There we go. Looky there. Those are, look at that. Now I might have to clean that up a little bit. Punched a hole in the spine before I put the text block in and put in a bulb pin. Oh my gosh, I'm going to remember that. That is perfect. I'll clean that one up a little bit more, but do you think you guys like the idea of making them yourselves, or would you like me to make them and sell them, or both? Yeah, this was one of my first ones, and I think I put too much hot glue in there. You can see right there, but it still came out okay. Good, Marcy. Let's see, like where you cut so that you get the marble. You might just trim that up a little bit more. It was hard. I'm not that savvy with um, getting these the right size for each one on the page. So I just did the blocks of the marble. But his books don't have anything. Tim Holtz's books don't have anything. You know, when you open the book cover. And I thought, and now if I'm doing a French book, I want marble. So that one needs trim a little too. Now these, I don't know if they're the same version as what's in the kits because I had to rework those quite a bit. This cover is really popular to use. This one and this one have been really popular to buy the book covers for um, the 8.5 by 11 so that we can use these for a junk journal cover. These two are popular. And I love the blue. Where did it go? The pinks are fun. Oh, look at this one. I put more together than I thought. I did a little bit better on the hot glue there, didn't I? But I think I like the idea of using the wet glue, let them dry, and then trim them down. Is this the one? No, it's not even crooked. Goodness. I'm going to remember that bulb pin. Where did the blue one go? So, I sat. Oh, here's a pretty blue. Not the one I was looking for, but here's a blue. I thought I just saw him. Yeah, this is Currier and Ives. And yours won't look like that on the back. I must have wet it in something. Look at that. So, kind of got a little mess here, don't I? I was doing all the fancy colors and everything, and I thought, oh my gosh, just a basic French leather book would look nice too, like this one that I showed earlier. I thought I had a blue one, a pretty blue and gold. Oh, I'm probably thinking of this one. Okay, so in the kit, you get all of these book covers. Whoop, this is just kind of a review. You get all of these book covers to cut out and use. And on the back is the brown marble. You know, the line in the middle isn't going to hit every little book, but I just couldn't figure out how to make it work for each individual book. At first, I was printing them bigger like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, way too big for a mini book. So I got them down to this and then just made 3 rows so that we at least had some marble. Not like anyone's going to look at them, but that's just how I think. And it's not like we're going to go through and try and read them, but uh, to be able to see the marble that is, I think, in most every French, antique French book that I've seen, I wanted some marble. So you get those 3 pages. These other 2 you can do with what you want. I had printed them, so I included them in these initial kits. And then you get the little cardboard or the chipboard piece to fold your pages. And then you get a pack of 10 folios of French rag paper that is beautiful rag paper with and thick. So the most, like the skinniest one, we only used 2, and then the thicker one we used 3. And you do the folding like this little accordion, and you stack 3 together for the wider spines. At first, I thought, like for the skinny or the thicker one, I only needed 2. But then by the time you glue it in and press it in, then the book starts, doing some of this. So I learned to make sure you have more than you might think you need. So yeah, there's been some nights I've just sat and folded these and got them ready. Oh, this was the one that was crooked as heck, I think. Yeah, I have it glued together, but I took it out of the cover. Okay, any questions? Main thing is to know that this is streaming on YouTube. So if you decide to get a kit, you can come back to this video on YouTube and watch how to make them. See, this one's not wide at all. And when you use your scoreboard, I scored them on this side because where it's dented is where you want to fold in. No, that's wrong. I'm saying it backwards. You want to score them on this side so that the mountain of the score line goes in like this. I said it wrong. I said it wrong. It's opposite of what you think you would do. You think when you score, you fold into the valley, the dented part, but it's actually the opposite. I hope I'm saying this right. So, there's our tutorial. So get the covers cut up, get your pages cut at 1 1/4 inches. You'll put them in the cutter like this, and 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/4, all the way down. Then do your back and forth fold with the piece of chipboard, and it's really important, or it's best. It won't fold as easily. If you fold it all the way around, you're going to have that space in there, right? So just fold the first edge and then use glue. I used art glitter glue today um, because my glue gun didn't come on for me. And trim it up, and you've got a little bitty. Oh, but we have to do, if you want to make them a dangle, we have to do what um, was suggested by Desert Lily to punch a hole in the spine. Punch a little baby hole right in here and add a bulb pin before you put the book pages in, before you do that, which you're going to want 2 or 3 in there. I love that. Then we've got a dangle, and we could dangle it off a page in our junk journals. We could dangle it off the spine of our junk journal. For these little bitty ones, we could tuck them in pockets. Hang on just a second. And then, so yeah, sorry, I was just checking on something in my show. Okay, so that is the tutorial for the mini French books. I have one of these bags, and that's where I keep all my pieces. So I'm going to put these in here. I actually found a way to organize. Oh, I don't want the crumbs. I'll pick this up, and then we can look at the ladies or anything else you want to see. So for those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the show, I have spent 2 weeks scanning many hundreds of images from 23 La Mode magazines that were in black and white. I bought them from France, and I've had them for a few months. And just with everything going on, I hadn't, gotten to them yet. And I mean, the scanning took numerous days. And then I used Canva and I removed the background. Some will remove nicely, but over probably 75% of them don't. Almost every dress at the bottom, when I remove the background, it keeps too much down here at the bottom of the dress. So I have to go in and refine what was the word I used earlier? Fine tune these and clean up. I don't know if this was one or not, but then I also go in. I don't know if you guys have ever used a remove background program, but it's kind of cool. You can click to see once you remove the bulk of it, then you can flip back and forth between the original image and what's already been removed. And that's where it's key when I want to make sure I get these kind of spots removed. Here's this one. I love the color, ladies, no doubt. But there is something about these black and white that I love also. I, yeah, and I hate it when it doesn't clean up, along the edge, because trying to make a straight line, oh, it's kind of a pain. Now, this one is interesting. Look at this. She has no hand. I looked 3 times to try and find her hand. There's a little piece in there to poke out. But she doesn't have a hand. So, but I loved her dress and the umbrella, so I kept her. What is cool is I'm quite certain this lady is pregnant. Wouldn't you agree? When you look at how skinny their waists are in the others, this has to be maternity. And I found two maternity photo or, images out of the 22. One has a hat on her head and one doesn't. They're not in the same pack. I shared the love of the maternity. Look at that. I'll get up close. I cut out where her um, flowery and cut that out instead for the one with no hand. You're like in a muff? No, I may have to go back again. Because I've never seen one without a hand. Fine tuning these hands are sometimes a challenge, also. Like there's one, her hand is on a rail, like a fence metal rail. And I removed all the rail, and her hand looked retarded. We might get to it here in a second. And so I left some of the rail around her hand so that it didn't look so silly. We got this one with an umbrella. The first pack was 242. This one's 243. And these are the two packs from 1875 with the bigger gowns. Although there are a couple where they're a little more slender. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Cat's Vintage. Thank you. And I was also telling them earlier, several, and maybe you were one of them, Cat. Several ladies wanted um, all 6 packs of, I don't remember, gosh, I got to stop and think of maybe the black and white, all 6 of them, just get it done and have that. Okay. And so I made a listing for that. And I was thinking about it last night. And what's awesome about that is I can definitely save on the shipping because I have to list each of these packs as 1 to 3 ounces so that if someone purchased one, I have enough weight, for the packaging. But with 6 sets, I can list them at the most 4 to 7 ounces instead of 1 to 3 ounces for 6 of them. Hi, Grammy. Look at that. I have to look and see. I have gotten, I've made so many, I can't keep all the prices straight. I think it's, well, good grief. I know that, let's see. Let's see, that's black and white, black and white. 46. You get 6 sets of the black and white ladies that I'm showing right now, and there's 46 ladies, and so it's 46. And that's number 248. So yeah, I was thinking about that last night. So I've made bundles for all of them for that reason. Just to help on shipping. If you're someone that would have, want all of them, then we can have a little price break on shipping. I did the same with these black and white ladies are new, but these are the newest. All the accessories and the French lady close-ups of their heads. There we go. Here's This is number 244. I really try to get as close as I can. You're, of course, Grammy, what would you like? If you're wanting all six, just pull up number 248, I think is what I said. And it's in the buy now. Everything is in the buy now. But even if you wanted, say you want three, even if you wanted three of the ladies in black and white, I'll make a listing for that so that we can save a little bit on shipping. Usually, if you see a white spot, that is going to pop out just like that. Oh, Sharon, are you one of them also that bought all the packs? Was that for the um, color ones? Because for some reason I remember 72. I think that was for the color ones. I could be wrong. But I've got a bundle price for the black and white ladies. And I say black and white, but look at the beautiful color variation. It isn't black or white, black and white. There's the off white. Some of them have, the brown or sepia. Is that how you say it? Se- Sepia? Sepia? I was going to show you. Oh, this lady, she's got a pair of binoculars and a really long pole. Oh, got a little bit of color change here, and I think it's because it was just the coloring in the magazine. Here's one of them. Oh, we just saw that lady. Looky there. Sepia. Sepia. I think is that what I usually say? Thank you, Kim. Oh, good. We just saw this lady. And so these are I got two magazines. So we got 1890. These are both 1891. I think I'm going to make this um, a page that we could put into a journal, into a junk journal, just to have that beautiful imagery. CP, it's okay. We got her. So even if you want just, 2, 3, 4, not all six, let me know and I'll make a listing for you so we can not have to pay as much in shipping. Okay, so that was the first 1891. Here's the second one. This is the one I was talking about. She's resting her hand. Whoop. There we go. She was resting her hand on the whole thing was, a metal fencing. And so I thought, but I took that out. It just made her hand look weird. It looks okay now because you know what she's holding on to. So here's this one. And we've got this one. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be making any more for a bit. This one, it was the cutoff of her umbrella. But I liked the umbrella, because she has the handle going through her hands. So I went ahead and left it, but you could easily snip it off, right in here if you didn't want that part hanging off. Oh yeah, their teeny tiny shoes don't come out right with the background remover too either. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even notice. That's around her neck and comes down to her waist. Isn't that beautiful? I spent so much time on these, Kim. I'm glad I started it when I did because it worked in a good time frame as far as, oh, good. Yeah, but for whatever reason, I love them. I love doing it. Now, I took on too many in this round, but I loved it. I also bought some. Thank you so much, Michelle. These are all 6 inches tall, so they work perfect on in our junk journals because normally they're um, 8.5 inches tall, right? And actually, I bought Paper Swan's junk journal in the Battle of the Junk Journal, and she put these on. She put numerous, not the black and white because I hadn't made them yet. Look at we got the flowers right here. I keep calling them umbrellas, but I caught in one of the magazines that they were called parasols at that time, I believe. We got a big old fan. If you need more, I don't know where we're at on groups, on the bundles. If we're getting low or out, let me know and I can make more of the bundles. I didn't know, how many to put in there. I have 9 sets of everything I'm showing you. I cut like a crazy fool um, for over 2 days. How exciting that she featured them in her gorgeous journal you won. I know. I told her I was so honored. So yeah, she had some of the color ones that she had put in her journal, and I ended up winning it, which I liked it because of everything else, of course. But the first thing she said was, "Oh my gosh, Pam, now you've got something to show off, your paper dolls." Well, I didn't even bring it in to show you guys today. She had them, just kind of like this off pages, and they were perfect. Okay, so that set's 246. There's just one more of the 6-inch dolls, and then I'll show the little ones again for those of you that weren't in here first thing this morning. Well, come on, ladies, get down so I don't fold your heads or your hats, most likely. So, okay, we've got this one. If I've missed any questions, please let me know. Isn't that beautiful, that draping? And, I try to keep all the little details of everything. I've got one, the most recent colored one. The lady has a rose in her hand. Whew, I have to be careful with that one when I pull it off the mat after I cut it because it is fragile. Yeah, I've only seen one wedding in all those 22 magazines. But what I have to find are ladies who are not overlapped because otherwise you don't get the full thing. So in there, she's holding a picture. Look at that waist. Huh. This one has a purse. I've not seen, this is the first one I've seen with a purse. All right. So that was 247. So the last four are from 1891. And the first two with the bigger dresses, wider dresses, were 1875. Paper Swan has said in her shows that her favorite are the close up of the ladies. And that's what prompted me to scan those. These are 3 inches tall. Let me find my ruler and double check. Yeah, right around 3. And I have this piece of paper sitting here just to kind of give you some, where you can kind of see, because sometimes it's hard to know how big something is, on screen. So this is if we had like whoop, that's not what I wanted. If we had, our signature for our junk journal and we want to, put her somewhere. So this is half of 8.5 by 11. So 5.5 by 8.5. And here she is. And she's about 3 inches. These ladies are all about 3 inches tall. And this first pack is 250. I have a bundle for all four of the close-ups and this huge accessory pack. There's 27 pieces in the accessory pack. Oh, thank you, Magnolia. Welcome, welcome. I have been, whoops. I started out with the darker clothing. I think it was last fall, for the full size, the 6-inch ladies. And then I have done sets of the color ones, the color ladies. And um, some of those are, I found a guy on Whatnot selling French theater magazine covers. It was just the cover, but every cover had a Victorian theater French lady. That's a lot of words. And that's what two of the sets are. Look at that hair. Welcome, welcome. These are all images from 1875 and 1899 Le Mode Illustré French magazines. About 22 of them from France. I thought this cape was pretty. And I have spent the last 2 weeks scanning, removing background. That's number 250. Look at that hat. That's what was neat about these close-ups is that it really shows off, their hair and hats. And I'm excited to now have these close-ups of the head close-ups. See how the color is different? It was just the sepia. Sepia. You've got that shade. Look, there's several shades in this one. That hat. Look at this one. They're just, they were just so beautiful. And the dresses and the headwear and just the hair on some of these. Can you imagine? I can't. Having to look like this every day. Vintage cabinet. Welcome. You will find in my buy now many sets of French Victorian uh, ladies that I have scanned, removed the backgrounds, and cut. All of these are cut on 47-pound paper. And then I use my cutting machine to cut them out. Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. But that's what all of them had, wasn't it? When they were able to dress like this. They'd even help dress them. When you watch Bridgerton. But anyway, I've got, I think, 9 sets of color dolls, paper dolls that are die cuts. And then I've just come out with 6 packs of black and white. And now I'm showing, oh, look at this. I tried to keep more of it, but it trailed off into something weird. But I at least was able to keep this little bit of this sheer wrap that she has on. And so now I'm showing the close-ups of the Victorian ladies. She has a lot of flowers coming down. I used the Caesar Juliet, and I have never been happier with a cutting machine for print and cut than I am with that one. I've had a lot of Cricut machines over the years. I tried the scan and cut, sold it. Okay, so that was 250. Where's it at? Where's my bag? 253. That's true. If you had the maids to do your house cleaning and prepare everything. That would be something else too, wouldn't it? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So here is 252. This is the last set of the close-ups. I loved this one. She has the floral going across her and this little bitty butterfly right here, and so I kept him. These, when I did the remove background, I kind of liked how they were a little more jagged instead of just straight across, and so I left that. Look at that beautiful hat. Beautiful hair. Goodness. For whatever reason, this one has come out a little darker, but we see a bunch of varying of shades of color in all of these. And at first you'd think these are the same, but they're not. Look at the difference. Look at the hat on her, that headpiece that she's wearing. Another, yeah. I actually have some, I actually pulled some children from the book, or the book, the 22 magazines. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break on doing these. My second oldest granddaughter graduates Saturday, and I have the Build a Journal. This is blurry. Try this. And I have the Build a Journal grade train a week from Friday that I got to get working on. So here's the accessory set. I pulled out as much of the little spots as I could, like right there and right here, to make them look, as authentic. These were just too tiny. These are from French Le Mode magazines. Oh, 50s and 60s would be phenomenal too. I say that because I'm a 60s. I was born in 61, but I love the 50s. Look at that fan. I'll try to remember to start calling these parasols now. Look at this purse. I think that's what that is a purse. Look at the butterfly on it. I tried to get as many little holes taken out as I could. We got this hat. I was showing these for the first time Saturday, and Journal Junkie said these are going to be amazing for tuck, to use in our tuck spots in our junk journals. I'm like, oh my God, yes. This one has, you can tell if it's been cut. Oh, there we go. It came out. I think there's a couple more pieces. So if you get these and you see that, just poke them out. I tried to get most of them. The pillow goes like this. So yeah, I'm excited to start making a new junk journal. I think Maybe that was too tiny. If you see white spots that don't poke out, they were just too tiny to look at that lamp. Isn't that gorgeous? I know I've said that 300 times. Here is another parasol. Look at this letter. What did we what did we call these? Letter holders? Yeah. Look at this one. I think this because that spot's there. I think that was a what, a fluke in the paper in the magazine. Look, we got grapes. All of these little things come out, and these down here will poke out. There, got that one. Look at this elaborate thing. I think that is that a trash can? I can't imagine a trash can looking like that. Isn't that awesome? This is a photo frame. This is the stand, that you pull back to hold up. I know. I know. I agree. I don't know. This might be a vase or a vase, is probably what they called them. We've got another parasol. My thought was this would, we could put them with the close up heads if we wanted, to have that added. And look at this beautiful table. So there are 27 pieces in this accessory, and I wanted to keep them all together because to me they're just too good. How would you ever pick which set? Although we do that with the ladies too, don't we? You got to have them all. And but this was a bigger set, but I just loved these pieces so much. I just wanted to keep them all together. I struggle with, do I keep them in smaller sets? Do I make them bigger? Like I've said a couple times, when I list each set, I have to do at least 1 to 3 ounces, or I do 1 to 3 ounces. But if somebody bought one, two, three, four, they're paying for 3, 6, 9, 12 ounces of shipping because that's what they charge. But if you buy all four of those and all the accessories, I can put in 4 to 7 ounces, and that's all you pay for shipping. That kind of hit me last night. This all started because several ladies wanted all 9 of the color paper doll sets, and I made a listing for that. And then when I came out with the black and white ladies, and then these 5, I also did bundles to primarily save, to help, well, to get them all, but to also make the shipping better. My throat's getting drier. I have been fighting a sinus infection for 3 weeks. I can't get my voice back to normal. I don't know what's going on. They've put me on 2 rounds of antibiotics. I feel fine now. I feel good, but my voice is still this raspy mess. All right, is there anything in the shop that any of you would like to see? This is a last call. I will. We've looked at the brand new black and white, all pieces that I have right now. We did the tutorial on the mini French books. Follow me on YouTube if you get a pack of those and want to see the tutorial. It's in there. You'll be able to go to my YouTube. I don't know how, but I actually figured out how to stream Whatnot and YouTube together. I don't have a big YouTube whatsoever, and right now all that's on there are just my Whatnot shows. But I love being able to do that for the tutorials. I've done 3 tutorials so far, and I'm going to keep doing more of those. Right now, I'm not I'm trying to do 2 shows a week. I always do Monday morning, but I'm not going to do a second one this week because my granddaughter graduates on Sunday, and I need to, help my daughter with getting everything together and set up. And but I think I did set 2 for next week. I think I'm gonna continue my Monday mornings, and then I'm going to try and consistently do Thursday evening once I oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. My second oldest granddaughter. I had my daughter when I got pregnant with her when I was 17. So it's at 65 I already have 2 granddaughters that have graduated or one that has and one just about. I know I'm excited. Then I've got a 3-year break before my grandson. And then I've got another break because my youngest 2 kids are, my son is almost 8 years younger than my oldest daughter. And then I have 4, but they're down the road. Yes. Yes. I know. I was like, how old was I? She was born in '05, 40 something. I was young and it was awesome. Yeah. I don't, thank you. 44 sounds so young. Yep. I became a grandma at 44. Mom had me at 20, and then I had Tasha at 18. I think I made my mom a grandma in her 30s. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it wasn't, she didn't think it was funny at the time. Hey, that's what they do. That's what, you know, women are doing now, waiting quite a bit, you know, quite a few years. No, no, Michelle. I think I think I was 28 when I had my youngest daughter. I have 3 kids. Yeah. I don't know if I was born in this day and age, I loved being a young grandma, but I don't know if but I never felt like I had my time, you know? And so, yeah, I never felt like when I look back, I never had my own time because motherhood never ends, right? So I think if I was born in this day and age, I'd wait. Yeah, never. You're right. Never. And then you got grandkids to come, that are, oh, what, this one's in that accessory pack too. I don't know what that is, but it's a stick with a tassel. Yeah. So I think I would definitely wait at least until 25 to start having kids these days, I think. Well, plus I found out our brains aren't fully developed until our later 20s. And it's like I had all my kids before my brain was fully developed. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know when I heard that about brain development, I'm like, Lordy B, why did they want women to have children so early decades and decades ago? Yes. This has been so much fun. I enjoyed showing off these black and whites. I am so happy with how they all came out. And now I have to finish up last minute things. My granddaughter's, I made her a memory book. I did traditional. Well, wait, let me start over. For at least probably going on 17 years, I followed Paper Phenomenon, Kathy King with Paper Phenomenon, and you made the structured scrapbook. I'm going to call it mini scrapbook. It's not like the scrapbooking of the 90s. You actually make the book start to finish. I did that for years and love it. Well, then I found Victorian and junk journals, and my whole mindset is shifted. Well, my granddaughter played varsity volleyball all 4 years of high school. She followed after her mama. The school even let Ryan have the same number on her jersey as her mama. Anyway, I made this massive book 4 years ago for her. That's before I found Victorian and junk journals. And so I had to finish that up for her, and it's going to capture all the pictures, all the newspaper articles, all the, just all the yummy stuff about her. And I made her sister 2 years ago a book that we lay out, like where you can sign and um, leave little notes and, stuff to them. But I also made it big enough that her diploma could fit in there, any cards she got as gifts, pockets so that she could put stuff in there. Anyway, I hadn't touched it for 3 years. I put all of her freshman year stuff in there, but I didn't get the last 3 years. Oh my gosh. And now we're graduating Sunday. So last month I took 2 weeks off to get that completed. And I'm like 99% done. But then I got sick. So I took like 3 weeks off, with this sinus, whatever. So anyway, long story short, I got to wrap up her book this week. And then I'm in the Build a Journal raid train. I love that raid train. This will be the 4th month that I have joined them. And so if I don't get things well, I did start a little bit of something last night. Look at this. You're going to go, what is that? I found a tutorial because I love my French paper so much. Let me find the ones that I actually connected. Where are they? Oh, those are the extras. Oh, good grief. Sorry about that. Well, hell's bells. Where did they go? They're in this pile somewhere. I'm going to have these when I find the connected ones to show you. Right here. Okay. I took that same rag paper, that beautiful thick rag paper. I saw this tutorial, and look at this. You have this expanding pocket thing. And now what I'll do is you cover it in pretty paper. And so I'll use French paper to cover it, have a closure, and then fill this with all kinds of, we could actually use this as, something to store our ephemera in. But then I'll fill the pockets with a bunch of ephemera. So this is one of the items I am making for build a journal this month. I got started on that last night. So all of that was fun. There'll be paper on this, so it didn't matter that the writing was sideways. You'll see it on the inside is sideways, but there wasn't any way. I couldn't, well, at 10 o'clock at night, I couldn't figure out the right way to turn it, so that's what those are going to be. But yeah, when you add the beautiful paper and then all the ephemera in the pockets with Build a Journal, you have to have one homemade item, handmade item. So this will be my, at least one. So this will be my one for sure. And then I do paper packs because I've scanned it. I don't know how, why. I've become a scanning queen. I bought a ton of French documents, letters, ledgers. So much of it actually came from France last year, and I have scanned them, and that's what you see in my buy now are all the different packs of French documents that have been scanned, and so they're cheaper than buying an original. And for, our junk journals, if we don't want to use originals, a lot of people want to use originals, and that's perfectly fine too, of course. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Well, those of you that are new, Michelle, several others of you, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I do have a show every morning or every Monday morning. I rarely miss that. So, those of you that are in my repeats, I'm so grateful for you. And thank you so much for showing up. And I can't wait to see you all again next Monday. And let's see who we can raid into. Junk Journal 101. Junk Journaling 101. She does a lot of tutorials. Let's let's hop in there and see what she's showing today. Thank you so much again, everyone. I'll see you next Monday morning.